Robschild, no advice. Wanted to do a second video today only because of what's going on in copper. Just bring the chart up really quick. Today's candle, I'll scroll in so we can see it. I was very curious about what copper has been doing. I didn't bring it up on the main show today because I didn't know what to do with it, but we closed with a ginormous topping tail on copper. In fact, let's take a look at the peak to closing price on the day, dropping 2.84%. There was so much bullishness. If you were watching copper at all today, it looked like a ginormous green candle. And when this happens, this is what I like to think of as like slaughter of the bulls. When the bulls get slaughtered like this, they tend to get bearish, actually. You can see from every time we get a very large topping tail, in other words, intraday, the bulls try to drive it higher, but then the bears take over and drive it straight back down. That's typically an extremely bearish signal. You can see, even scrolling out further to major tops, you see these topping tails, these very large, multiple topping tails before we got a doji before we sold off back in May of 2024, dropping a very large amount. And, also just to clarify, when we're going sideways in copper, when we're going up in copper, you don't see large topping tails. Just to show a few more examples, back in January of 2023, we had a large move to the upside, and then this doji-ish thing with a huge topping tail. It was, chart pattern wise, in order for it to keep going bullish, you need actually a close above the top of a tail like this. But typically it's a huge bearish reversal signal, and you can see after that we went down, and then we had sort of another topping tail candle here before collapsing much further to a bottom in May of 2023. Over and over again, at the tops of bull runs, you see topping tails, and it sends the market lower. And if you know anything about Dr. Copper has a PhD in economics. You don't want to mess with him. Add this to what's going on in Bitcoin today, selling off almost 3%. Remember, Bitcoin and the stock market have become completely correlated for like a long time now. If Bitcoin crashes, typically the stock market follows. I think both of these markets are sniffing out a lot worse unemployment numbers tomorrow than what anybody else expects. Remember, Dr. Copper has a PhD in economics. Anyway, just wanted to throw that in there. I am very bearish for tomorrow, and this just made me like way more bearish. But remember, guys, I'm just a guy with a crystal ball, and that's all. See you tomorrow.